Before you open your mouth, she's already decided what kind of man you are, not by your clothes, not by your smile, but by how you carry yourself. Your posture is the first sentence of your presence. It tells her everything before a single word is said. Do you stand tall, shoulders back, head held high? Or do you slump, shrink, and fold inward like a man trying not to take up space? Most men don't realize this, but your posture isn't just a physical habit. It's a reflection of your mindset. A man who believes in his value doesn't walk like he's apologizing for being in the room. He walks like he belongs, because he does. Women read posture like a headline. They know within seconds if you're confident, lost, dominant, or hiding. And once they see weakness in your frame, it doesn't matter what your mouth says, they've already tuned out. Here's the truth. Posture communicates dominance. Not arrogance, not aggression, dominance. The kind that says, I don't need to prove myself because I am myself. A straight spine, a calm stance, a grounded walk. These aren't just body mechanics. They're a man's unspoken resume. And when a woman sees that, she feels it. Deep in her psychology, posture signals leadership, certainty, and safety. Now here's the brutal part. Slouched posture screams the opposite. It says you're unsure, you don't want to be seen, or worse, you don't believe you deserve to be. And the moment a woman senses that, she pulls away, not because she's cruel, but because biology doesn't lie. Women are drawn to strength, not noise, not flash, strength. And real strength doesn't shout. It stands tall and lets the world adjust. So look in the mirror. Look at how you sit, how you stand when no one's watching. That's your real posture. That's what she sees. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You just need to hold your frame like a man who knows exactly who he is, with or without her validation. Your voice is a weapon, and most men are using it wrong. You think it's about what you say, but to a woman it's about how you say it. Your tone, your rhythm, your delivery. All of it reveals whether you're grounded or grasping. A man who's unsure of himself tries to fill every silence with noise. He rambles, he rushes, he laughs nervously. He throws in weak words like, maybe, I guess, or kind of, as if he's scared to commit to his own message. You think she doesn't notice? She does. She notices the hesitation in your tone, the rise in pitch when you ask for her opinion like a child asking permission, the way your voice trembles when she challenges you, and every time you do it, her respect for you erodes, slowly, silently, until one day it's just gone. A man who understands his value speaks differently. He doesn't just talk, he commands, not with volume, but with intention. His words are few, but clear. His pace is slow, but sharp. And when he speaks, the room leans in, because his voice carries weight. This isn't about being loud or trying to sound alpha. It's about speaking like you mean every word, like you'd still say it even if no one clapped. That's confidence. That's power. And women pick up on it instantly. Here's something most men never realize. Your voice is emotional currency. If you speak like your words are cheap, she'll treat them like they are. But if you speak with gravity, with presence, with purpose, she'll remember every syllable. It's not about fancy vocabulary. It's about owning your voice, speaking slowly, clearly, with just enough pause to let your words land. That space, that silence between sentences, it's where all the impact lives. So the next time you open your mouth, ask yourself, are you speaking to fill space or to command it? Because to her, there's a world of difference. And the man who owns his voice, he doesn't just get her attention, he keeps it. You think she's just looking at your face? Think again. Her eyes drop fast, to your stance, your movement, and then straight to your shoes. And here's the truth. Your shoes say more about you than your watch, your car, or your job ever could. Why? Because they reveal what most men overlook. Your shoes tell her whether you care about the details or if you're just performing on the surface. Women notice the scuffed soles, the dirt around the edges, the worn-down laces, the pair that looks like it's been through 5 breakups and 2 job losses. And you think it doesn't matter, but it does. Shoes reflect standards, discipline, hygiene, identity. You don't need expensive sneakers or designer boots. That's not the point. In fact, when your shoes are too flashy, it screams something even worse. Insecurity dressed up as style. Like you're trying to compensate. Like you want your feet to be louder than your presence. That doesn't impress her. It warns her. She sees it instantly. The man who's reaching, not grounded. The man chasing image instead of living truth. But when your shoes are clean, well-kept, and chosen with intention, even if they're simple, you send a different message. You're a man who respects himself, who sees no part of his life as too small to care about, a man who pays attention, and that attention is rare. Here's what most guys don't get. Women are biologically wired to scan for signals of competence, not just success, but self-management. Your shoes are part of that scan. They whisper to her subconscious, this man takes care of his world. And if you can't take care of your shoes, how can you take care of her? That's not fashion advice, that's psychology. So take a good look down. Are your shoes an extension of your standard or evidence of your neglect? Because no matter what story you tell her up top, your feet are telling the truth. There's power in the eyes, more than you realize. Before a woman listens to what you say, she watches how you look. And nothing gives you away faster than your eye contact. Too much, and you look unstable. Desperate to prove something, forcing a connection that isn't there. Too little, and you look like you're hiding. Weak, uncertain. Like there's a part of you even you don't trust. Either way, she feels it, and it changes how she sees you instantly. Women are masters at reading nonverbal signals, especially from the eyes. It's primal, because in your gaze she sees one of 2 things, either a man who's centered or a man who's pretending. Balanced eye contact is the difference, the quiet, grounded gaze of a man who's not looking to dominate or disappear. He's just there, present, focused, and unshakable. It's not about staring her down like a weirdo or avoiding her eyes like a scared boy. It's about meeting her, exactly where she is, without flinching. That kind of eye contact isn't loud. It doesn't try too hard. It says, I see you, and I'm not afraid to be seen either. That's confidence. That's control. That's presence. You think eye contact is just about attraction? Wrong. It's about power. Not over her. Over yourself. Because a man who can't hold her gaze can't hold his frame. And if you lose your frame, you lose her respect, even if she can't explain why. Eye contact is energy. It's primal language. And she's fluent. The next time you're talking to her, pay attention to how your eyes behave. Are you darting around, looking for exits, looking at your phone? Or are you right there, still, calm, unmoved? That difference says everything. Don't just look at her, see her, and let her see you. The man who doesn't need to flinch, shift, or perform. That's rare. That's powerful. And that's what she'll remember. Here's something most men never think about, but every woman notices instantly. It's not how you treat her when you're on a date. It's how you treat the people who can do nothing for you. The waiter, the cleaning staff, the delivery guy, the woman holding the door open. She watches, silently, because that's where your real character bleeds through. Anyone can be nice to the woman they're attracted to. That's easy. That's expected. But the moment you belittle a stranger, talk down to someone, or act like you're better because you're paying the bill, she sees it. And no matter how good you look, no matter how confident you sound, in her mind, something flips. Why? Because women instinctively look for leadership, protection, and empathy in a man. Not weakness disguised as power, not arrogance passed off as confidence. If you snap at the waiter because your food's late, if you ignore the receptionist like she's invisible, if you treat a stranger like they're beneath you, she'll never forget it. It's a psychological signal. It tells her, this man only respects people when there's something to gain, and if he treats them like that now, how long before he treats me the same? She's not just watching your charm, she's scanning your integrity. Leadership isn't how you act when everyone's watching. It's how you carry yourself when no one is. Respect isn't just vertical. It's horizontal. And a man who can't respect people across from him can't be trusted to lead people behind him. So here's the harsh truth. You can fake your smile, your game, your compliments, but you can't fake how you treat people you think don't matter. Because in that moment, you reveal everything. And the woman sitting across from you, she's not just dating your manners, she's dating your values. Your interactions with strangers are the proof of your core, not the script you rehearsed. So the next time you're tempted to brush someone off, remember this. The person you're ignoring isn't the only one watching. She is too. And she's deciding if the man you are in the background is someone worth standing beside in the spotlight. Some men walk into a room and people feel it before a word is spoken. That's presence. And then there are the men who walk in needing to be noticed, laughing too loud, talking too much, taking up space with noise, not weight. That's not presence. That's performance. And women know the difference instantly. You see, female intuition doesn't just process what you're doing. It feels why you're doing it. Are you calm and grounded because you know who you are? Or are you flexing and performing because you hope someone else will tell you? That energy, the need for validation, leaks through everything. And the moment she senses it, her attraction drops. Not because you're a bad guy, but because you're trying to prove you're a man instead of being one. Presence is different. It doesn't beg for approval. It commands respect, quietly, naturally, without trying. It's in the stillness of your movements, the calmness of your face, the way you enter a room without needing to announce yourself, because your energy already did. That's the kind of man women feel drawn to. Not the loudest guy in the room, but the one who doesn't need the room to confirm his value. Think about it. Lions don't roar for attention. They don't need to. Their presence says it all. And the men who understand this, they're magnetic. Not because they demand attention, but because they don't. Attention finds them anyway. Here's what you need to ask yourself. When you walk into a space, are you trying to impress everyone? Or are you just grounded in who you are? Are you filling the room with performance or anchoring it with presence? One pulls people in, the other pushes them away. Women don't want noise, they want certainty. And that starts with how you move, how you breathe, how you exist in a space. Without apology and without performance, you don't need to be loud to be seen. You just need to be real. And when you are, trust me, they feel it. You want to know what she notices before your shoes, before your smile, before a single word escapes your mouth? Your grooming, your scent, your hygiene. She picks up on it instantly, and you'll never even know it happened. Attraction isn't just visual, it's visceral. And your smell, that's not a detail. That's a decision maker. A man who smells clean, subtle, intentional. He doesn't just walk in, he lingers long after he's gone. It's not about wearing designer cologne or having the perfect beard. It's about effort, precision, care. Because grooming isn't just about looking good. It's a message, a signal, and it says, I respect myself. I don't let things slide. You think she won't notice the overgrown nails, the greasy hair, the cheap spray you threw on to cover up a day of sweat and neglect? She will. Women are wired to pick up on scent, on texture, on the small things most men ignore. And here's the hard truth. If you treat your body like an afterthought, she'll treat you the same. But when your beard is clean, your neck is lined, your breath is fresh, and your scent is well chosen and subtle, not aggressive, you create an aura, a memory, something she connects with on a primal level, because hygiene isn't optional. It's not extra, it's the bare minimum. And yet, doing it right puts you ahead of 90% of men who still think attraction is about big moves. It's not. It's the small ones. So trim the damn beard. Clean under your nails. Invest in a real fragrance. Not one that screams, trying too hard, but one that whispers, I know who I am. That kind of detail shows discipline. It shows maturity. And it triggers something in her brain that goes far beyond looks. You want to be unforgettable? Smell like you care. Move like you're polished. Show up like a man who doesn't let life get messy. Not on his body, not in his presence. Because when a woman walks away from you, what she remembers isn't just your face. It's your aura. And grooming is where that begins. It's easy to be cool when everything's going your way. Anyone can smile when the sun's out. But she's not watching you when life's smooth. She's watching when it isn't. The moment things go sideways, that's when your real character steps forward. Do you explode? Do you retreat? Do you blame, panic, or spiral? Or do you stay centered, calm, measured, focused? Because here's what most men forget. Women feel your emotional control more than they hear your words. You can talk strength all day, but when stress hits, your nervous system speaks louder, and she's listening closely, not because she wants you to be perfect, but because she needs to know this. Can I trust him when life gets hard? That question isn't just emotional, it's biological. Women are wired to seek safety, stability, certainty, and the man who can remain composed under pressure, he is safety. He becomes the eye of the storm, and she gravitates toward that. But if you lose your cool every time plans fall through, if you sulk when something doesn't go your way, if your mood is a roller coaster and she has to walk on eggshells, you've already lost her respect. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it's slipping, slowly. Real strength isn't about pretending nothing bothers you. It's about responding, not reacting. It's the difference between being a rock or being the man who throws one. Women pay attention to how you carry pressure, to how you respond to stress, chaos, and adversity, because how you handle that tells her everything about how you'll handle her emotions, her bad days, her storms. And if you can't regulate yourself, she'll never feel safe letting her guard down with you. So here's your move. Train for chaos. Practice composure. Learn to breathe when your world is on fire. Because the man who can lead with clarity when it counts, not just when it's easy, that man doesn't just attract women, he earns their trust. And once you have that, everything else follows. You might think she's only paying attention to you, but she's not. She's watching the people around you, your friends, your inner circle, your crew. And what she sees there tells her more about you than your words ever could. Are you surrounded by men with vision, discipline, and ambition? Or are you stuck in a pack of guys who complain all day, chase temporary highs, and play victim every time life gets hard? Because make no mistake, your circle is your reflection. It reveals your standard, your boundaries, and your future. And women know this. They don't just date a man. They date his environment. She knows that if your best friend is a mess, your weekends are filled with nothing but parties, and your mentors are non-existent. She's not stepping into a kingdom. She's stepping into chaos. You don't rise above your circle. You sink to it. And the woman watching you, she's thinking long-term. She's asking herself, can I grow with this man? And if the answer's no, if your circle drags you down instead of lifts you up, she'll leave before you even realize you were being evaluated. On the flip side, when she sees that your brothers hold you accountable, that you run with men who push each other, build things, and walk with intention, something shifts. She sees stability, power, leadership, not just in your words, but in the ecosystem you've built. Because here's the truth. Women are tribal thinkers. They instinctively evaluate whether your tribe is safe, driven, respected, or reckless and stuck. Birds of a feather isn't just a saying, it's a warning. And you don't need 100 friends. You just need the right ones. So look at your circle. Are they sharpening you or softening you? Are they building something or escaping something? Because you don't just bring a woman into your life. You bring her into your world. And she's watching to see if that world is something worth stepping into or something she needs to run from. There's one thing that attracts a woman more than looks, more than money, more than charm. It's not fame. It's not status. It's purpose. Do you have direction, a mission, something you're building, with or without her applause? Because if you don't, she feels it. She may not say it outright, but something in her starts to disconnect. Because deep down, every woman is drawn to a man who knows where he's going. Not because she needs to follow him, but because that direction creates gravity. Purpose makes you magnetic. It gives your words weight, your decisions clarity, your energy focus. Without it, you drift, you stall, you feel empty. Even when you have her, and she senses that. You can't fake purpose. You can't borrow it. You either wake up with it burning in your chest, or you don't. And if you don't, she starts to wonder, if he doesn't know what he wants, how can he ever know what to do with me? A man with no purpose becomes a man who clings, who needs her to feel fulfilled, who makes her the mission instead of having one of his own. And that's where the dynamic dies. Because no woman wants to be your reason for existing. She wants to join your mission, not become it. So let me ask you this. What are you chasing that has nothing to do with her? What keeps you up at night? What wakes you up with fire in your gut? That's what makes you different. That's what makes you unshakable. Purpose gives you posture. It gives you presence. It changes the way you speak, the way you move, the way you lead. And every woman, whether she admits it or not, is watching to see if it's there. So stop chasing perfection. Stop trying to be everything. Be a man with direction. Because a man with a mission, he doesn't just win a woman's attraction, he earns her respect. And when you've got that, you don't just keep her, you lead her. This video was great, but this video on the right-hand side is even more helpful.